Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, for remaining tuned at Smart 24 TV. Warm welcome and good morning to you wherever you're watching us from. Remember, this is Smart 24 and we are committed to drive business here in the country and in the region as well. We'll be back from Smart Means Business with Joram Paul Sonko there, and of course other programs on the TV station that is #1 in delivering information concerning business and everything concerning the markets. And right now we are looking into financial markets. Of course, later on today on the program, I'll be hosting a lawyer known as Louis Kizito, who has been here before on the show. And we are going to be talking about money and in terms of Bitcoin and cryptocurrency, other cryptocurrencies as well. Is it worth it? And how does this impact our social development as a country and our well-being as a country as well? Remember, of course, following the ban of transactions of cryptocurrency in Uganda, there's been a lot of criticism over the cryptocurrency situation in the country. And of course, we'll be discussing the legal aspects of the same, of course, later on the program. But of course, first of all, we will have a look at the capital, the markets as they have been doing, and that is the stock markets as well in Uganda, of course, and East Africa as a whole. Looking at, of course, first of all, our market here in Uganda. The gainers for the last 24 hours by close of business yesterday. Remember, our market in Uganda opens at exactly 9 a.m. and closes at 1 p.m. And of course, already people are trading right now. So you need to get this information before you start trading to know exactly where you can put your money if you're to start investing. Starting off with, of course, the gainers. We have Stanbic Bank Uganda currently trading at 22 shillings, but with a gain of 2.76% in the last 24 hours. And of course, this is real-time data, of course, from very trusted sources of the Uganda Securities Exchange. Then Centum Investments Company is currently trading at 302.93, a 0.42%. I think the first increment since the week began for Centum Investment Company. And of course, KCB is another gainer, up from, of course, 1,200 yesterday to 1,240.98, an indication of about 0.13% appreciation in share price there for KCB. The bottom losers, of course, were led by East African Breweries Limited, trading at 4,232.06, and of course, with a percentage drop of -3.27%. Nation Media Group followed East African Breweries Limited in losing and of course lost to a price of 679.36. That is about 2.51% decrease in share price. Equity Bank Limited is another loser on the market yesterday, ending with 1,373.03, which is a -2.38% drop in share price. Therefore, Equity Bank Limited. And MTN Uganda, of course, is also another loser on the market, trading at 189.74 from 190 at the beginning of the week, which is a decrease of about 0.14% right there for MTN Uganda. But of course, we have other listed companies. Of course, the Uganda Security Exchange officially lists several securities, including equities, treasury bonds, corporate bonds, and treasury bills. And the table below, however, shows the different companies that are listed and cross-listed on the exchange. That is mainly from the Nairobi Stock Exchange. We have 8 cross-listed companies and 10 locally listed companies. And among them, of course, we have British American Tobacco Uganda, the company with the highest share price of about 15,000 Ugandan shillings per share. Notably, I think today, the 15th of June, British American Tobacco will be holding their annual general meeting where they'll be discussing the financial results of the financial year ended 2021. So if you're out there and you're a shareholder in British American Tobacco, you should be online already waiting for that meeting. It's either starting at 11 or 10, but around this time, they have their annual general meeting. And as a shareholder, it's upon you to make time and attend this meeting so you know exactly what's happening for the company and the facts behind the figures as well later on after the annual general meeting and declaration and approval of a dividend that was declared, of course, by the company. it's important for you as a shareholder. So British American Tobacco currently trading at 15,000. However, on the market with zero change over the past 24 hours and no volume traded over the past 24 hours, perhaps due to the high share price. 85 cents, that's as much as you need to buy a share in Bank of Baroda, Uganda. There's been no change in share price over the past 24 hours. As well, there's been no volume traded recorded for the past 24 hours. Centum Investment Company, one of the gainers on the market, currently trades at 302.93, and of course with a gain of 1.28 Ugandan shillings. We saw the percentages already right there. Then Cipla, Quality Chemicals Industries Limited. That is a pharmaceutical company that is specialized in particularly HIV drugs and anti-malarials, as well as other specialized drugs and painkillers. Currently trades at 70 cents. And of course, with a price, with the volume traded for the past 24 hours of 1,100 shares that are worth, of course, 701,100 Ugandan shillings. That was the last deal. Percentage change is 0.00. No change has been registered in share price for Cipla Quality Chemicals. I always like to remind you that Cipla returned to profitability in the year, according to their financial year results of the year ended 2021, with a profit of over 50 billion Ugandan shillings. And of course, they declared a dividend of 1.5 Ugandan shillings per share for each shareholder. And they're planning growth and expansion due to their construction of a new unit for anti-cancer drugs. And that will bring Cipla to more profitability, probably to more revenue. And it's a good prospective company to invest in for seasonal investors. So Cipla, just 70 cents, you get yourself a whole share in the company. Down to DFCU Limited. DFCU Bank is a listed, locally listed bank here that is listed on the Uganda Securities Exchange, currently trading at 555 Ugandan shillings. And there hasn't been any volume traded or change in the share price for DFCU Bank. East African Breweries Limited, as we already saw, is one of the biggest, actually the biggest loser yesterday, trading currently at 4,232 after a drop of 143.19 Ugandan shillings per share. Then Equity Bank Limited is currently trading at 1,373.03, which is a loss of about 33.41 in terms of share price. Equity is a cross-listed bank as well from Kenya, a bank that's been doing good on the market and of course doing good in the business of banking across East Africa as well. Jubilee Holdings Limited is currently trading at 8,432. There's not been any volume that is traded, and there hasn't been any changes in the share price. Down to Kenya Airways, 121.87, one of the biggest gainers yesterday, but it has stabilized at 121.87 with no volume traded and no change in the share price. KCB Group currently trades at 1,240.98, and this is a 1.59 increase in share price for Kenya Commercial Bank. That is also another powerful bank here in East Africa. And then MTN Uganda, down to MTN Uganda, currently trading at 189.74, with the last deal recorded to have a volume of about 676,125, and a drop in share price there for about 0.26. And that is MTN Uganda for you. National Insurance Corporation, the company with the lowest share price on the market, currently trading at 6.2. No volume traded and no change in price. Down to Nation Media Group, which is currently trading at 679.36 with a loss of about 17.5 Ugandan shillings, with no volume traded over the last 24 hours as well. Down to New Vision Limited. New Vision is a company that is specialized in publishing and also a media house in Uganda. It currently is trading at 155, and there hasn't been much activity for the company on the market over the past couple of weeks, with no volume traded as well for the last 24 hours, and no percentage change in share price for the company. Stanbic Bank Uganda currently trades at 22 cents, and there has been a volume traded about 23,900 shares. Now, when you see these volumes, people are buying and selling, and usually when it's an increase in price, people have bought shares. So someone probably bought 23,000 shares from Stanbic yesterday. And I hope it is one of our viewers today, because we want you to be active and get to start to get involved in some of these markets, as you enjoy the benefits as well of being a shareholder for a company such as Stanbic Bank. Down to, of course, there was an increase of about 0.59 already mentioned for Stanbic Bank Uganda. Down to Uganda Clays Limited. Uganda Clays is currently trading at 19 cents. 19 cents. You can access yourself a share in Uganda Clays Limited. It hasn't had any movement in price for the past 24 hours. And of course, there has been no volume traded in the past 24 hours. Wumeme has a whooping volume of about 833,600 shares that were traded last night. And it currently has a share price of about 240, which has been stable for quite some days and weeks as well right now. Those are the 18 listed companies, but we can look at data as well that summarizes this performance for the market. Now, the Uganda Security Exchange summary for the date ended Tuesday 14th. Remember, this is data at the close of the market yesterday. At the end of the session yesterday, Uganda Security Exchange had a total volume of about 1,534,725 shares, corresponding to a market value of about 328,954,450 Ugandan shillings were traded. You can imagine, in a single day, the Uganda Security Exchange actually traded shares worth almost 330 million, which is a good business, I think. If you see 330 million in a day, if it's being, money moving, being liquidated into the market, and it's a good business, I think, for people here in Uganda, as well as people who are investing in these companies from other countries. Compared with the previous Uganda Security Exchange trading day, that is on Monday, June 13th, today's data shows a 472% improvement in volume. That's a good performance for Uganda Security Exchange right there. The current market capitalization for the Uganda Securities Exchange is 21.1 trillion Ugandan shillings. What market capitalization means is just the money value of shares. You just get the shares. Each share has a certain unit price. Multiply that unit price by the number of shares to get the total market capitalization. Uganda Securities Exchange currently handles shares that are worth 21.1 trillion. Our budget yesterday was read at about 48.1 trillion. If in terms worth of shares, I think it's a good thing. But the only worry is, how many shares do you have? How much of this money have you invested? Yes, that's the big question, and that's why we want you to get started. And you can simply get started with the Zabo initiative from Altex Exchange. Of course, these are people who have come up with easier means to access the securities. Not only sell these shares and get